Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed rachamim verachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, amecha. Barucheinu Yotzreinu, kulanu ke'echad, ve'or panecha, ki ve'or panecha natata lanu. Adonai Eloheinu, Sim Shalom, Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha, En V'Chesed Rachamim Verachamim Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Amen. And at this holiday season, we have the opportunity to bless our children. So I'm going to ask everyone, please, to rise. And we begin bestowing blessings of a good and sweet and healthy new year to our girls. I happen to have a few examples just down here. So if you have a girl child, maybe your biological offspring or otherwise, please place a gentle hand on their heads or shoulders. And repeat these words of blessing after me. Yesimech Elohim Kesara Rivka Rachel Valeah. That means may you girls be wise, courageous, and compassionate like Sarah, Becca, Rachel, and Leah. Big kiss for the girls. And grab those boys before they run away. They're very squirmy. Gentle hands. And repeat after me. Yesimcha Elohim Ke'Ephraim V'chi Menashe. It means may you be wise, courageous, and compassionate like Ephraim and Menashe. Big sloppy kiss for the boys. And now a blessing for us all. In the words of our Torah, this ancient blessing, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God bless you, all your family and friends, with a Shana Tova, a Shana filled with shalom, contentment, wholeness, and peace. And we say, Amen. Please be seated. And we join together in our song of peace. So say shalom. Shalom bimra, yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We turn now to lucky number 18 for Seder Kriyat Torah, our Torah service reading this morning. And we read on page 18, Torah is our light. Torah guides us in our life when we read it day and night. Torah is our light. Let's join together in the middle of the page. Torah tells our Jewish story and teaches us what is right. Torah is our light. Torah helps us to make the world pleasing in God's sight. And it's my honor to call up from our preschool all these amazing teachers, Teacher Andy, Teacher Ayala, Teacher Stephanie, Teacher Lorraine, Teacher Andrea, Teacher Raina, Teacher Kylie, Teacher Julie, Teacher Alyssa, Teacher Debbie, Teacher Lori, and Laura Gramling, as I ask our beautiful synagogue family to please rise as we open our ark. We turn now to page 20 at the top of the page. Avinu Malkeinu, you bring goodness to our world. Avinu Malkeinu, you are all around us. Avinu, love us as mothers and fathers love us. Avinu, your love is always with us. Malkeinu, guide us as a wise leader would.
Malkeinu, you lead us to live by the Torah.
Avinu Malkeinu, bless us with a good year.
Avinu Malkeinu, give us health, keep us free, bring the world to peace.
Avinu Malkeinu, show us kindness because we are your children. Be fair and loving and help us.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vanenu, Yehemanu Masi, Aseimanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseimanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Me'oshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Vanenu, Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vanenu, Yehem Banu Ma'asim. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Adon V'norah Shemo.
Kadelu l'Adonai unramema shmo Yaakov
So I have a question for you guys this morning. Is there anyone here, anyone at all here, I'm not sure, who has a birthday? Does anyone here ever have a birthday? Anyone here have a birthday? Raise your hand if you have a birthday in any month between January and December. Oh my gosh, wow, we are so connected. We all have something in common. Raise your hand if you love it when it's your birthday. Oh yeah, me too. Raise your hand if you love having birthday cake. I can say that because it's not Yom Kippur. Yeah, me too. Raise your hand if you love birthday parties. Yes, me too. Amazing. So here's the thing. On Rosh Hashanah, what we are doing here, getting in our fancy clothes and singing songs, and soon we're going to have something sweet, we're actually celebrating a birthday. We are celebrating the birthday of the world. Every Rosh Hashanah, Jews around the world have the biggest birthday party ever with Rosh Hashanah, the birthday of the world. So here's the thing. Anyone here, when it's your birthday, do your parents tell the story of the day that you were born? Do they tell that story? Going to the hospital and all the fun that was involved with that and how excited they were when you came into the world. So here's what we're doing today. We're telling the story of when the world was born. A long, long time ago, God decided to do this really big project, to create a world. But here's the thing. When you're doing a really big project, when you have a big job to do, it's good to have helpers. But there was no one else around at that point except for God, right? So what did God do? God was so smart. God had toys. And God decided to turn to God's toys for some help to create the world. So on the first day of making the world, God turned to Jesse. Does anyone here like Jesse? Yeah? And God asked Jesse, Jesse, what should I start with?
I'm afraid of the dark. Can you make night and day so it's not always dark?
And so, because Jesse's afraid of the dark, God created day and night. Let's see if we can get this microphone situation over. Put that right.
No, the other.
Thank you, Matt. Okay. Then, the second day, God turned to Woody. Tara. Anyone here a Woody fan? What should come next? Thought God. So God pulled Woody's string, and Woody said,
Reach for the sky, reach for the sky.
and so on the second day, God created the sky. And the next day, God turned to his good friend, Mrs. Potato Head, for some wisdom. And Mrs. Potato Head said,
God, you know what you're missing in your world? French fries! Yum! You need to make a place to grow potatoes.
so God created a place to grow potatoes, land and sea and lots of plants and vegetation. And the next day, God turned to the alien. And the alien looked up and said,
The claw, the claw.
and the alien said that he would be so thankful if God would create something up above him besides the claw. And so God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. And the next day, God turned to Rex. did it. You got it. Come all the way. And Rex said,
God, did you know that the dinosaurs are descendants from birds?
and so because God wanted to create birds, God created dinosaurs and sky and sea creatures, and it was the 5th day of creation. And the next day, God turned to ham. Wait, is it surprising to have a pig on the bima on Rosh Hashanah? And Ham said,
Look, God, great work on the world so far, but I'm sure you saved the best for last. Isn't it time to fill up the land with some cows, donkeys, camels, pigs, and, people?
So God created animals and lots of people. And then after 6 days of creating, Bo Peep decided it was time to have a little word with God.
You know, God, I need a day to sleep and rest.
And so because Bo Peep wanted a day to count her sheep, God created a day for rest called Shabbat, and that was the 7 days of creation. And God thought, perfect, the world is created. But there was one toy missing. Who could that be? Buzz! And, Buzz thinks big. So Buzz turned to God and said,
From infinity to beyond.
no, to infinity.
To infinity and beyond. I had one line and I muffed it.
Close, so
I
close.
know.
To infinity and beyond. Buzz said, God, this is a great idea. I will create one day each year when we think about big things, about infinity and beyond, about what big people we can be, how big we can be with our kindness, our kind words, our big ideas, our hopes and our dreams. I'm going to create that day and call it Rosh Hashanah, and on that day, we will always remember the act of creation and the world's birthday. And we say, happy birthday to the world. Let's say it together. Happy birthday to the world. Thank you.
To infinity and beyond. Woo!
Great.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to the world.
Happy birthday to the world. We turn now back to our Machzor, our prayer book, and we turn to page 24 and 25. It's my honor to call up Leo Gruber, who is here, who will be blowing the shofar for us this morning. It's also
Go
my
Leo.
honor
Go Leo.
to call up all the children to come sit on the steps. If you have a shofar, you can bring it with you and to come sit on the steps.
Shofars. No toy shofars.
And then we'll do the bracha. I'm skipping all of this. Yeah. I just have to. No, we're gonna do it. Yeah, we'll do the bracha and then Samira has her shofar. Please come sit.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen.
ברוך ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מלך כל הארץ מקדש ישראל ויום הזיכרון.
Amen.
And just before we listen to Leo, if you did bring a shofar, there's going to be one blast at the very end that you will join in with. But let's put our shofars
and if you
down.
miss this opportunity, come back at the end of Nila, at the end of Yom Kippur, for the final blast of the High Holy Days.
Okay, so right now we're going to be doing, our job is going to be listening to Leo.
You ready? Tekiyam Shvarim Tekiyam Tekiyam Truam Tekiyam Tekiyam Shvarim Truam Tekiah Gedolah Great
Give them a
job.
chance.
Okay, one last blow for any of the kids who have a shofar with them.
Rick,
Any
stand
kids?
up if you have a
Stand up if you have a shofar with you.
Anyone brought a
Is there only
shofar
one?
with you? Is it just one?
Looks like there's just one. Two.
Two. Okay, stand up.
Guys, stand up. Ready? One, Tekiah Gedolah. Here we go. Mira. Tekiah Gedolah.
Everyone can return to their grown-ups now. If you're a grown-up, you can return to your seat. As we turn to page 28, as we return the Torah to the Ark, it's my honor to call up our new members with some pretty small children and some babies that have been born recently. Vanessa and Shelby Murphy, Amy and Doug Leaf, Mimi and Jacob Gonzalez, Amanda Branting and Scott Tenley, Anna and Matt Putterman, Zan and Chris Chewins, Sarah Alush, Bradley Pivar, and Mr. Rod Escobedo. Please come join us on the Bima, and I'll ask our community to please rise as we return the Torah to the Ark.
שלושה דברים העולם על שלושה דברים העולם על האמת ועל העתיד ועל הסודות על האמת ועל העתיד ועל page 29.
Please be seated. Please be seated. For some words of welcome and some announcements from our president, Mr. Kobe Sonnenschein.
Shana Tova. I have learned that I cannot make these announcements any quicker for this audience, so I'll go as fast as I can for everyone's sake. It is my privilege to serve as president of our temple. On behalf of our board of trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to our family Rosh Hashanah service. I am pleased to share the bima this morning with two invaluable members of our team. First, Laura Gramling, director of our preschool. Please stand. Laura has been our EC director since 2014 and brings many years of experience to this important position. We thank Laura, her husband Kevin, and their three daughters, Megan, Bridget, and Rachel, for being part of our TBY family. Thank you, Miss Laura. And next, Allison Nightingale. Allison, her husband Charlie, and their two sons Nathan and Ben became involved in TBY Life immediately after becoming members 9 years ago when they moved here from New York. Allison has served in 2 board positions representing youth and the president of our ECE Parent Committee. Both Nathan and Ben went all the way from Mommy and Me through preschool graduation. Allison is also the daughter of our wonderful previous executive director, Stan. Thank you, Allison, for all you do for TBY. A thank you to Dr. Amanda Barker for being available with your medical expertise for our congregation during this service. And before you leave, I'd like to remind you to grab some grocery bags for our annual Yom Kippur food drive. When you return next week, please bring non-perishable foods and toiletries to make this year the most giving in our history. This food provides for many people in our community that need assistance. At the conclusion of this service, please exit through the doors to my right and exit through the multi-purpose room of the preschool for a special treat. Ushers will guide you. If you plan on staying for the main service, please exit through the same doors and wait for ushers to reopen the sanctuary. You will be asked to show your tickets, so please have them available. If your children are going to childcare, ages 2 through kindergarten will go to the preschool, and grades 1st through 5th to the Marcus Library. From my family to yours, Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Please do make sure that at the conclusion of the service, you all exit to the left and through the preschool for a special gift and a reminder that everyone needs to leave because we're going to do a security sweep once everyone has left before the next service.
Before we conclude, I just want to give a big thank you to our amazing toys from the Toy Story. We had Rabbi Miriam. Howdy. We had Rabbi Gersh. We had Laura Gramling. Thank you. We had Sarah, who is our new ECE feeder.
Not EC, JCal.
JCal feeder teacher, as well as our TBY Youth Feeder Program Director. Welcome to Sarah from New York. We're very privileged to have you here. Thank you to Melinda, who's someplace here.
In the library.
Director of Youth Engagement.
And Assistant Director of JCal.
JCal. Thank you to Azira Zilberman, who doesn't want to be thanked. Thank you to our amazing Rex, our Executive Director, Mark Gullner.
Woo.
Did I miss anyone? I think I got them all. And
We conclude with Lashana Tova.
Please rise and say thank you to our amazing choir and Kemp Smeal, our pianist, and our conductor, William Wells. And yours truly, Chop Liver.
Hashanah.